The other day I had an AA call out. The mechanic that came to me asked me what I do, and I said I'm a gardener. He's like, oh, you grow marijuana? And I was like, actually no, I don't. I laid a formal complaint because not okay. The only reason they've said that is because I'm young and Māori.
When the connection to one side of your identity was lost. Ngā roana I te kanohi, nā ngā reanga nomu atu I a koe. Me pēhea tō rapu I tērā hononga. How do you find balance between who you thought you were and who you need to become? Ake ne pea, he pēnei te māma I te whakatō kākano.
I guess I have a complex relationship with my taha Māori. I was born in New Zealand, but then we pretty quickly moved to Germany and we lived there for 10 years. Grew up being really grounded in my German side. I was actually not aware of my race until I came to New Zealand. No one explained to me that I was different, and so I just tried to assimilate. Thought I was a white girl, straightened my hair and tried to fit in, but I'm not. Didn't really get to learn about my taha Māori until I was a teenager. And then being asked to karakia in karanga and not really knowing even what that meant. That was important for me. The discomfort that I did feel back then is what drove me to reconnect. Deciding that I needed to learn what it means to be wahine Māori. I've been attending Te Atarangi kurapo since I was like 15 on and off with my nan, who is a kaiako there. I stand confidently in my Māoritanga. I used to have a meltdown every time someone asked me to give mihi or say my pepea. Ko Lani hotsapurua tōku ingoa no Germany tōku whae I tipu ake au ki reira, ko Schwarzwald te rohe, ko Wiese te awa, ko Belgian te maunga, te taha o tōku matua, ko tūhoi te iwi, ko Ohine Mataroa te awa, tai arahia, rawa ko maunga pō hatu ngā maunga. Ko te rewa rawa ko tō sarana marae, tipu ake au ki te awa kairangi. I can walk through the world with my European lens and my Indigenous lens. Both of my halves can coexist within me. They make me who I am. Some of the things that really helped me stand strong in my German culture was having so many grandparents and great-grandparents around. Every day after school, I would spend time with them, and living just downstairs from my great-grandmother, Oma Susie, going to her house after school every day, and she'd cook for me. Anei taku pukapuka. Ko tēnei pukapuka tinu kai o te Black Forest o te Schwarzwald. I te wā I nohoana a mātou ki te amana I haere au ki tōku nani whare a mua te kura e ni tunu ia enei kai. Nā schnitzel, me nā bratwurst, me te kartoffelsuppe. Where we're from is a rural part of Germany. It's about as rural as you can get, and a lot of meals are real just hearty, simple foods like lots of spuds and stew type things. I've got a little children's book my great-grandmother used to read to me. Quite problematic. This girl's Paulinchen is her name, and her parents tell her, don't play with the lighter. And then her cats say, don't play with the lighter, Mum and Dad told you not to. And then she sets herself alight and turns to ashes. Really grim, really, really grim stories. Whose mother tells him, do not suck your thumb. And he proceeds to suck his thumb. And then the scary man jumps out of the wall and chops off his thumb. Germans, man. Ko taku wairākau tēnei, ka ako tonu au me pēhea te hanga wairākau. Nā te mea kaore he mahi māma kia hau nei ki te hanga wairākau. Yeah, ki te hariko au, ki te tēnei, ki te koutou. Nei nā muki. Taku tino hoa e nei. The ultimate dream would be to feed myself entirely. We were gardeners. We lived in abundance. I truly think that I would love it. I know that I can do it.
When a seed is planted in our hearts, me whāngai rawa kia tipu, ki te haumako te one, ka pakare ake nā peka. Just as in knowing who we are and embracing all sides of our whakapapa, ka ki ake, ka ora ake te wairua.
Toi maha haru ki ruki, manawa pātaku ngā kau, kei te tangi maua.
So in America I have my tino rangatira flag hung up in my room, and a lot of people always ask questions whenever they see it. I just usually teach them. It's an Māori Indigenous flag of New Zealand. It represents where I come from, like my family, my culture, everything it means being Māori. America, it's kind of different values, beliefs, different outlooks on things. Yeah, I miss home, yeah.
Me pēhea tō whirikoka I ngā aho katoa o tō tuakiritanga. Mēnā he kāinga tū whitiwhiti tōu. Me pēhea rā tō whakamānawa I tō ahurea, I tētahi kāinga e kōkei ana I ngā whenua o mātua tīpuna.
Kia ora, my name is Kay Holzer Phillips. I'm from Puna Pirirako, New Zealand. I moved to Sydney when I was 5 years old. Coming from small town New Zealand to a big city here in Sydney, it's a huge change. I think for me, basketball is kind of an escape. I would just go and shoot, go train by myself. It's just me and the basketball hoop, and that's it. I played in Penrith for under 18s. Started to trial for a Oza Hoops team that travelled to America to play basketball over there during AAU tournaments. Went over to play in America for a couple of weeks, came back, and then I started talking to college coaches. First, I didn't want to go and play in America. I just was going to stay home, and then I got a whole bunch of offers, emails, calls. Your schooling is paid for. Live in a different place and experience American college lifestyle. The more I learn about it, the more I wanted to experience it. Playing in America is a totally different ballgame to anything I'm used to. It's just a higher level of competition, athleticism, especially with college basketball. In my first year that I went to America, I kind of felt isolated there. One of the biggest challenges is being away from everybody. My mum, this is me and my mum when I think I was 1. This is a collage of my koro and then all of his mokos. In 2014, he was in the Central Coast where my auntie was living, and then he went to fly home and he passed away. He was walking onto the plane and then he just fainted, I think. We were close. Every time I went home, he was always there. I always keep this photo and on my tāmoko, he's right in the middle, watching over me when I'm in America. This is my first and only tāmoko. The shape of the tāmoko is like the baila of a waka. Starting from the right side is my dad's side. He's from Te Aotearoa. My koro in the middle and perirako, and then the 4 quarters represent the 4 maraes. On the left side represents my mum's side, and she's from Ngāti Kahungunu. I wanted to get a piece before I went to America to have like my family with me. I've met a lot of people through basketball and all around the world. In terms of basketball goals, just to grow as a player, get better as a player, learn more, take in everything that I've learnt so far and use it to hopefully play professionally, whether that be back here in Sydney, in America, Europe, Asia, wherever it takes me.
Ia koe ka oke ki ngā momohotanga o te ao kei tua atu I tō papakainga. E hara I te mea me ruke rawa I te katoa o tāu I mōhio ai. Engari ke, I o tīpuna ka whakamahi I ngā whetū hei kōpure I o rātou makenu. E tai ana e koe te whakamahi I te māramatanga o tō inamata ki te ārahi I o kokenga hiranganui.
Decolonize what you see on media. You see things on TV and you think that's how beauty is portrayed. Look at your own media. Look at your own history. Look at your own roots. Look at your own people. Look at their beauty. That's rich. Your heritage is what makes you wealthy in beauty, wealthy in who you are, wealthy in society, and wealthy in self-love.
Me pēhea tōrapu I te waiwaiatanga, mēnā ko tēnā e whakatauhi ana he waiwaia, e hara I tāu e kite nei I mua I a koe anō. Me pēhea tō whakatika I ngā paki kōrero, mēnā ko ngā kōrero e wahaina ana e hara kau nei I tō wake iwi. Kua eke pēa ki te wā kia whai reo hou, te aonga ake o tētahi rā hou.
Kia ora koto katoa, welcome back to PMN Cook Islands Tōku Ingoa ko Ernestina Pukuia Bondu Maro. You are live right now on PMN Cook's. Tōku Ingoa is Ernestina Pukuia Bondu Maro. I am of African Cook Island descent. I I studied media and Unitech. To be honest, I wanted to be a TV presenter because I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Then when I was at uni, I was like, oh my gosh, storytelling is amazing. Growing up in Māngai, we didn't really see a positive light of stories that were around our community. I wanted to bring stories that were just hidden, like rappers, dancers, choreographers from the hood, from the community. Media is powerful. You can change the dynamic of a community. There's so many platforms now that you can share your story to. You're not only seeing one way of traditional media anymore. People are changing it up. Being African Cook Island, on the outside, I have strong African features like my hair, my afro, my skin. But inside, I'm like the cookie type of energy. What I eat, my language, the way I dress myself. Because I had a solid foundation around me with my mom, my parents, my aunties, my community, I felt like I knew who I was. So the challenge was actually accepting of how I look. I did have an insecurity of my hair and stuff, or my nose, ears. In high school, I used to always try, ironing, straightening the hair, dressing and conforming to the way that you saw magazines. At the end of the day, I can't change how I'm loud. I can't change my skin. I can't change that my hair is bigger than yours. You get lost into trying being something that you're not. And I see that with mostly our young people, is they're not accepting that beauty that's in front of them. When I was with the Miss Cook Islands, it was the first time, a dark skin was going to represent Miss Pacific Islands. It wasn't a girl with straight hair with the flower on the hair. There were comments like, whoa, it's a dark girl. You get this feeling like, oh my God, you're not doing it for yourself. You're actually doing it for a new wave of people. It was just a beautiful time where change was happening with how we saw beauty in the Cook Islands. I knew that, oh my gosh, this wasn't about me. These other girls going through self-acceptance. And I felt like I was that movement of change. Love is so important, self-love. And just feeling empowered, feeling loved, feeling accepted, and also feeling acknowledged that your voice, your purpose here is for a reason. My main purpose in life is spreading love and light for myself as well as in the outside world. Being kind, being positive, it's not cheesy. If you add that bit of love and light into the community, that gets passed on. And I'm not saying that I'm set on life, I know what's gonna happen. I think that's the beautiful journey, is I don't know what God's gonna be taking me onto, but at least I love what I see and I can carry that and, enjoy it.
Ia kapua I te atatū, ia pataua, ia ngaru. He rere hua tōna, ka mutu, ka ia rere huatanga, he mana.